How do you like your stories? Genuine question. Some things that might come to mind are adventurous, gripping, enjoyable, comfortable, challenging, hopeful, fun. One that probably wouldn't come to mind is unsettling. Hi there, yeah, I just want to feel real bad while reading this one, thanks. If you could sort of emotionally crush me every now and then, that would just be mwah, that would just be chef's kiss, it would be brilliant. Today I want to give you a manga recommendation, but come at it from a slightly different angle. We're talking about Goodnight Punpun by Inio Asano. This is a series that sort of sits on the fringes of recommendations, and you'll see it come up from time to time, because the people that appreciate Punpun really appreciate Punpun. But it's not a series that you'd say, hey, read this, I reckon you'll enjoy it. It's more, hey, read this, it's an experience. So today I want to give you some context on this series to see if it's something that you'd be into. As a manga, it looks good, it flows well, and I think it achieves what it sets out to. Whether or not you want to go along with that intention is really the deciding factor on if you should read it. To be clear, I'm not trying to gatekeep here, rather that Punpun just goes into some hard stuff, and if you are not in a mindset for it, it'll probably do more harm than good. Intrigued? Let's crack in. Goodnight Punpun follows the story of Punpun. At a super basic level, it's a coming-of-age story of Punpun from him as a primary schooler through to him growing up into a young adult. A bit slice of life with some overarching threads mainly revolving around the people in Punpun's world. So why is he a bird? Well, in the story, he's just another person, but the manga draws him and his family as these bird creatures, something that the author definitely plays around with in the series. Now, there's certainly some commentary here about how it allows you to project yourself onto Punpun to make his experiences all the more real for you, letting you put yourself quite easily in Punpun's shoes. Okay, so far it's just an interesting style choice for the main character and a nice little slice of life drama about growing up. What's the big deal? The thing is, this is not a nice little slice of life. Punpun quickly and unapologetically jumps into this deeply cynical tone. People are horrible, tragedy never ending. To be hopeful is to be naive, happiness is but a brief reprieve only to set you up to be knocked down again. All life is just a series of failing and falling. This is the tone of Punpun, and it permeates every single moment of the manga. Naturally, this expands out into the actual content of the series, which can be rather confronting. I could list a number of words here that YouTube doesn't like, but occur in this series. A lot of portrayals of unhealthy relationships and actions taken that are genuinely uncomfortable to watch unfold. And then we come to the more personal angles of Punpun's journey. We take things from mostly his perspective, hearing his own thoughts, following whatever logic is currently running through his head as to why he's taking these actions. Alongside that is just a lot of confusion. Let's not forget, this is still a coming-of-age story, and a lot of Punpun's struggles are with feelings he doesn't understand and situations he doesn't know how to respond to, and some of the responses that he takes are not the ones that you want to see him do. I think the series does a great job of making you empathize with young Punpun, which will carry you through the whole series. His cute little design certainly helps there. So when you see his thoughts take a dark turn in a bad situation, it's heartbreaking to see. Moreover, I think that this is a series that throws so much different misery at the reader that you'll empathize with at least some of the actual situations as well, whether they be the more specific tragedies in the story or the more universal ideas of dealing with growing up, young love, where do we find our value, etc. And genuinely, those can be some hard things to confront. A lot of series will raise these questions with this hopeful undertone or at least some satisfying answers. Not Punpun. You're going to be engaging with nearly 150 chapters of it while only getting brief respites from this negative tone permeating through every page. Stories have this unique way of teaching us and influencing us, and Punpun raises those hard questions only to have very defeatist and despairing answers. I guess from a personal angle, if you are not in a good headspace right now and are genuinely struggling with some of the heavy stuff of life, then Punpun is probably not for you right now. I do not think this will help with whatever you are currently going through. Leave this one on the shelf till better days. It's a story, it's not going to go anywhere. Which I guess brings us back to the main point. Is Punpun for you? Does this sound like something you want to go through? If that all sounds intriguing rather than off-putting, give it a go. On the pro side, it's an incredibly evocative manga that puts you through your emotional paces, brings up feelings from your past, and tells a personal story of Punpun that you're unlikely to forget. There was a number of times during this series where I had to stop and just sit on a panel for a while, give myself a chance to just process what has happened. It's amazing to have a series that can get you so emotionally like that. On the other hand, if this all sounds like a real bad time, stewing on misery with the sole purpose of seemingly just making yourself upset, I'd leave it alone. That's the con side. It's near overindulgent in its despair, deeply cynical in how we should view the world, and for a lot of people, I imagine, they'll feel no better for having pushed themselves through it. At the end of the day, you know yourself best, and I hope this will help in figuring out if Punpun is a series that you want to dive into. Thanks for watching, and take care of yourself out there. This has been CG, and I will see you Gs in the next one.